Ever feel like you're just like drowning in data these days?
It's a lot, right?
It is. And that's what we're diving into today, how AI is becoming, like the ultimate life raft. We're going deep into the world of AI and big data, especially how it's changing, like reshaping finance.
Yeah, and it's not just about like, crunching the numbers faster. Obviously, AI's got that covered.
Right.
But it's really about fundamental changes to how we, bank, invest, and even just like think about risk.
Right. It's true. Like, remember, way back when you actually had to like talk to a person to get a loan,
I know.
like in person?
It seems so long ago.
It's almost like quaint now, isn't it?
Totally. AI is really streamlining all of that, analyzing mountains of data like in seconds to assess risk and really just personalize financial products. It's all about efficiency.
Right.
And for you, like that means faster approvals, maybe better interest rates, the whole 9 yards.
So it's like that super efficient assistant we all like wish we had.
Exactly. And one that works 20/47, no coffee breaks needed. But, it gets even more interesting, even cooler, I think, when you look at how AI is actually impacting, investing. Imagine a stock market where trends are, spotted just like that instantly, and portfolios are adjusted based on, real-time analysis. Like that's the potential of AI.
Okay, so that sounds amazing, but also a little intimidating. Is AI going to replace like financial analysts, like completely?
That is the question, isn't it? The million-dollar question. AI can, definitely analyze data and execute trades way faster than we ever could, but there's still a huge need for, that human touch, strategy, ethics, and just understanding those nuances that algorithms sometimes miss.
So it's more about humans and AI, like kind of working together.
Yeah, absolutely. A partnership.
Not one replacing the other.
Exactly, yeah. The most successful investors, I think, in the future are going to be the ones who can leverage, all of AI's strengths, but then still apply their own knowledge and judgment on top of that.
Okay, so that's reassuring for those of us who are not ready to hand over our entire portfolios over to, robots quite yet.
And remember, even the most sophisticated AI, it's only as good as the data that it's trained on. So that's where the human part, that oversight comes in. It's making sure those algorithms are working with information that is accurate and, unbiased.
So it's all about balance, the power of AI, but then combined with like the wisdom and the ethics of, us, human oversight.
Definitely.
But how does this play out in the real world? Like, what are the specifics?
Okay, so let's start with something that everybody knows, banking. I think that's where most of us really experience the impact of AI on, just like our daily lives, even if we don't realize it.
You mean like when my banking app tells me I spent way too much on takeout, this it's AI.
That's AI looking at your spending patterns, yeah. But it goes so much deeper than that, Think about fraud detection. AI is so sophisticated now that it can spot a transaction that might be fraudulent, as it's happening, like in real time, often, sometimes, before you even know that something's up.
Okay, so AI is like what? Like my little cybersecurity guard dog, just like watching over my money?
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Okay.
And on the flip side, AI is actually what's making it easier for you to access credit and loans.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about like faster approvals and personalized rates?
Yeah, and that got my attention.
Absolutely.
But how does that work? Like, is it looking at my Instagram feed to like decide if I'm good for a loan or not?
Well, okay, it's not quite that simple,
Okay.
but it's not that far off. AI does it analyzes a much wider range of data points than like traditional credit scoring models.
Right.
So think about spending habits, your payment history, yeah, even your online behavior in some cases. And it uses all of that to create a more, it's like a more holistic picture of your financial health.
So it's like AI is trying to understand like the story behind my finances.
Yeah, like the why.
Not just, the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And for a lot of people that can mean greater access to credit, more financial opportunities, which is really cool.
That is good news for a lot of us who might not have like perfect credit scores but are still, responsible.
Exactly. And that's really just, the tip of the iceberg.
Oh.
We haven't even gotten into how AI is like completely revolutionizing the stock market and the whole investment world.
Right.
That's a big one.
Okay, you got me hooked. Let's dive into that.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we're talking AI and like investing. What's the AI advantage in like stocks and bonds?
So it really comes down to this. AI is like amazing at finding patterns in huge amounts of data.
Hmm.
And the stock market, it's like this giant data factory just churning out tons of it every single day, way more than a person could ever deal with.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Wall Street's always seemed like kind of secretive and overwhelming,
Exactly, exactly. And AI loves that. It can analyze like everything. I'm talking historical prices, company reports, even the news and social media to see where things are going.
So AI can connect the dots that, like,
Yeah.
we might miss.
Exactly. And it does it like instantly. AI makes decisions based on what's happening right now in the market. That's how you get algorithmic trading. That's where these AI systems make trades automatically based on like rules you set and market signals.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't, Wall Street experts, break that down. Like, what does that actually mean for, like, how people invest?
Okay, imagine you've got this AI, right? And you tell it to watch a stock or a bunch of stocks. You program it, so if the price moves a certain way or some news comes out, it buys or sells. It's like having a 247 trader, but it's all AI.
Like a personal trading desk working all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing is, you don't have to be, super wealthy to use it. These robo-advisors, they're bringing that same tech to everyday people, managing their money with AI,
Yeah.
but way cheaper than like old school financial advisors.
Okay, that's awesome for those of us who aren't, ready to trust our life savings to some fancy firm.
But you mentioned risks earlier. What are the downsides of letting AI play the stock market?
Right, right. So one of the biggest ones is like those really unpredictable events, those black swan events that shake up the whole market.
Mhm.
Even the smartest AI can't always see those coming.
Like a pandemic
Eh,
or sudden recession.
Exactly. Things nobody expected. See, AI, it learns in what's happened in the past, so when something totally new pops up, it might not know what to do.
So it's not like, foolproof. There's always going to be some risk.
Oh, absolutely. That's why
Yeah.
it's so important to remember people are still in charge. You got to understand what AI can and can't do. Don't just set it and forget it.
Hmm.
Keep an eye on things. Be ready to change your strategy if you need to. So again, it's about like balance,
Yeah.
right? Using the power of AI, but not forgetting like human judgment and intuition.
100%. AI can be this amazing tool, but it's not magic.
Right. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Another place where AI is making a big impact, and we've all got to deal with it, insurance. So what's AI doing there?
Well, think about it. Insurance is all about figuring out risk. And like we said, that's where AI shines, right? In the past, insurance companies, they use pretty basic stuff to set your rates, your age, your driving record, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it always felt like they were just like making it up sometimes.
Right. But AI is changing that game big time because now with big data, they can look at way more information about you to create a much more accurate risk profile.
Okay, but what kind of information? Like, is my insurance company tracking my every move?
Well, okay, maybe not your every move, but they might check out your, online shopping, your social media, maybe even data from those fitness trackers. It's all about figuring out, who's more or less risky.
Okay. I see how that works, but it's still a little creepy. Like, is it really fair for them to use all that?
I get it, it's a balance, right? But for some people, this actually means paying less for insurance. Like, say you're a safe driver who's not on the road much. AI can see that from your driving data and say, hey, this person's low risk, and maybe give you a discount.
So it's not all about, higher premiums. AI could actually help me save money. Okay, now I'm interested.
Exactly. And this isn't just for cars. We're talking health insurance, life insurance, homeowners, even pet insurance. AI is everywhere.
Wow, it really is taking over. But what about actually using the insurance? Like filing a claim?
Yeah.
That's always such a pain. Can AI help with that?
Oh, absolutely. All that paperwork, all those phone calls, AI is automating a lot of that.
So no more like endless forms and waiting on hold forever.
That's the dream, right? There are AI systems now that scan your documents, look at pictures of damage, even talk to you through chatbots to get everything sorted out. No human needed.
Okay, I have to admit, that part sounds pretty good. But what if the AI messes up? Who's responsible then?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And it brings up some really important stuff about who's in charge when AI is making these big decisions. But, before we go down that rabbit hole, let's talk about some of the other ways AI is shaking up finance, like how it's changing the way we get financial advice.
Okay, so we've talked about AI, like, transforming banking, investments, even insurance. But zoom out for me for a second. Like, how is this changing how, like, regular people, how we manage our money day to day?
That's where this whole idea of like a personalized financial assistant gets really interesting. Imagine an AI that knows your income, your expenses, your goals, and then then it gives you advice, like a custom plan for budgeting, saving, even investing.
So it's like a financial advisor, but, available 24/7, and they don't judge my online shopping habit.
Exactly. And these AI tools, they're getting smarter all the time. They can track your spending, see where you might be, going a little overboard. They can even automate your savings, put money into investments based on what you want to achieve. It's pretty cool.
So I've got like a personal CFO in my pocket.
Pretty much. And the best part is it's not just for like millionaires anymore. There are tons of apps, platforms out there for any budget.
Okay, that's good to hear. Makes it seem less like exclusive,
Yeah.
So AI could actually make financial advice like more fair.
That's the hope, giving everyone the tools to be smart with their money.
Love that. But we got to talk about the flip side, right? Like every coin has two sides. What worries you about this AI-driven financial world?
Yeah, the big one, honestly, is bias. Like, if the data used to build these AI systems, if it's flawed, then the advice it gives will be flawed too. It could actually make things worse for some people.
So like if an AI is mostly trained on data from, wealthy people, it wouldn't be so helpful for someone who's struggling to make ends meet.
Exactly. If the AI doesn't know about your situation, how can it give good advice, right? So we have to make sure these systems are built with data that represents everyone.
And what about when things go wrong? If an AI messes up my money, who's to blame? Who do I yell at?
Right. That's the tricky part. Nobody's really figured that out yet. Like, how do you regulate AI? Who's accountable? These are questions governments and companies are still trying to figure out.
So it's bigger than just the tech itself. It's about the rules, the
Yeah.
ethics, the whole system.
100%. We've got incredible power with AI, but we have to use it responsibly. We can't just assume it'll always do the right thing.
That's a powerful thought and a good place to wrap up, I think. As we dive headfirst into this AI future, especially in finance, it's on us, right? To be smart, to be ethical, to make sure it works for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The future's not set in stone. It's what we choose to make it.
And on that note, this has been a fascinating deep dive. Hopefully you, our listeners, you're walking away with, more questions than answers, because this is just the beginning of the conversation. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and we'll see you in the future.